gonna live forever and ever and ever. Hey guys, DB right here, and today welcome back to a new dose of What If-ery, and this time I'm going to be doing a what if that was suggested to me by my good friend Brian. Thank you, Brian. And this actually did take a bit of thought on my part, because this one was quite a doozy to sort of make work. But anyway, I'll give it a shot. And that is, what if Freeza became immortal on Namek? Now, this story actually begins in the Namek saga, right where, just after Vegeta has had his first fight with Zarbon, and he's trying to find Vegeta on Frieza's orders in order to try to squeeze information out of the Prince of All Saiyans. Meanwhile, you remember that little yellow alien guy from the anime? He finds the village that Vegeta destroys and kills the only Namekian who saw what Vegeta did with the Dragon Ball. Well, that doesn't happen this time. He does find the village, but rather than just have him go down there, kill a Namekian, killing the only witness, he actually decides to fly back and report this straight away to Lord Freeza. And Freeza actually very impressed with this guy. Now, this is what I'm talking about. Now, this is a good soldier. Someone who actually doesn't exceed his authority. Zarbon could learn a thing or two from you. And Freeza leaves with that particular minion and decides to investigate this village himself, and they find the Namekian. They find the Namekian trying to crawl his way to the lake and retrieve the Dragon Ball that Vegeta stole. Freeza actually remembering something Namekian from the first village he raided said about that even if he does manage to grab all 7 Dragon Balls, he won't be able to use the wish. Because, you know, you need the password to unlock them. So, Freeza actually uses a bit of that really awesome manipulation that he does. You know what he's really good at? And he actually convinces this Namek that he is on their side, that, oh yes, that filthy monkey, yes, he's been causing the universe all kinds of trouble. I've been here trying to collect the Dragon Balls so I can stop him and save your people. And, this actually, the Namekian actually buys this. He actually believes, oh, you're here to help? Oh, bless you. Bless you. The Saiyan throw it into that lake over there. And Frieza's minion dive downs and sure enough retrieves the Dragon Ball. Freeza and his minion actually fly off with the Namekian and put him in a healing chamber, you know, in order to heal him so he can later unlock the Dragon Balls for him. And meanwhile, Zarbon had captured Vegeta, and they did the whole recovering and healing thing, and Vegeta, pretty much everything from that point goes on per normal, with Vegeta eventually stealing the Dragon Balls from under Frieza's nose, killing Zarbon, and the whole Ginyu force shows up, and Vegeta and Gohan and Krillin having to work together just in order to try and survive. And of course that means Captain Ginyu gives Freeza back the Dragon Balls, and Freeza uses the wish. Freeza, with the help of this Namekian that he's spared, only for now, has summoned Porunga, and Freeza asks for his immortality. What? I thought you were here to save us. Oh, you silly little tree slug. I lied. And he puts a death beam through the Namekian. Freeza just destroys the dragon. He destroys the dragon pretty much in the same fashion that Piccolo does in Dragon Ball. You know how King Piccolo destroys the Eternal Dragon? Frieza just does the same thing, does away with the dragon. Can't have anyone else getting what they want. And well, since then, Frieza's still having his scar. He can sense that the Ginyu Force, aside from Captain Ginyu, has pretty much been wiped out by Goku and friends, because Goku still arrives on Namek, and yeah, that whole thing went down as per normal. Except Jace didn't actually get the chance to run off and get Captain Ginyu. Vegeta took him out on the spot. We've got an Immortal Lord Freeza speeding towards our Dragon team. And, well, quite frankly, they don't have a chance. I'm sorry to say. Captain Ginyu does get defeated. Goku and Vegeta having to work together, and they do try and take on Freeza. And Goku actually surprising everyone, getting a few good hits in. Goku is significantly weaker than the original when he fights Freeza, because he didn't have that big final Zenkai boost from battling with Captain Ginyu. And Frieza's just sort of having the time of his life. He's really testing his immortality. He's actually letting these guys get some hit in, and basically all the wounds that Freeza is getting is just healing away like nothing happened. Sorry, Vegeta, but I'm the winner of the grand prize today. And fires a death beam, killing Vegeta, and does fire another one, killing Krillin, and that actually does trigger Goku into going Super Saiyan, and the power-up does surprise Freeza, but Frieza's not too worried. I mean, he's immortal. Can't kill him. Even in Super Saiyan power, Goku's not going to be able to kill Freeza. So Frieza's actually having a bit of fun testing out his immortality. And Goku's Super Saiyan transformation isn't anywhere near as potent as it is in the original. It's quite potent, but not quite as potent. Didn't have that Ginyu Zenkai boost. The only thing that's giving Goku any significant ground in this battle is the Kaioken turn times multiplier as well. But again, Frieza is immortal, and Frieza just, after a while, taking all these hits and just healing, Goku beginning to tire out, Frieza just pretty much does away with him, and pretty much just blows up Namek. Why not? He did say he was going to after he got what he wanted, so yeah, he basically just took out Namek. Gets on his ship, and then just blows up the planet, so basically, goodbye Guru, goodbye Dende, goodbye Bulma, anyone else who's on the planet who may be alive, gone. Poof. And this is really a huge difference, really huge difference in the story, because now no one has Dragon Balls. There's no Dragon Balls on Earth because the Earthlings didn't get to their wish. Piccolo's still in the other dimension. Not good. To being immortal, he is free to go about the universe as he pleases. And one of the first things he actually does with his immortality is kill his father. Now, Frieza may have been raised by his father and all that, but there's no love lost between them. Frieza will not chance King Cold wanting to take his kingdom back one day, out of a whim or whatever. No, Frieza will put him into retirement permanently. And the first planet Frieza actually sets his sights on is planet Earth. He knows where these other guys, Krillin and Gohan, came from there, so there is potential they might be able to make a decent slave force, or there might be people worthy enough who could serve under the Freezer force. After all, Gohan and Krillin weren't exactly pushovers, Needless to say, Earth got a pretty rude awakening that day, with an Immortal Freeza basically declaring himself their new ruler, and there's pretty much no one there who can stop him. Go on a bit of a 3-year time skip here, or time jump. There are only 2 people who are actually offering any sort of resistance within the Freeza Force, and they show up 3 years later. That will be Android 17 and Android 18. Now, why? But DB right, why is this exactly? 17 and 18 are good guys, not without Goku to guide them and whatnot. Well, that may be true, but without Goku around for Dr. Gero to get his revenge on, 17 and 18 were basically left alone up until Freeza showed up and Gero suddenly had himself a new mission. He could actually do some good. You know, Gero wanted to conquer the world and rule it and become a corporation powerhouse that'll rival Capsule Corp. That was the whole thing with the Red Ribbon Army. Red Ribbon Army's chance to show off his technology. But now, without Goku, he can basically put his real plan into action. It's just a matter of reconquering the planet from Freeza. And Android in 17 and 18, whose energies do not tire, they're actually proving to be quite a formidable duo resistance against the Freeza Force. Now, they're not really killing Now, the androids, they're basically as rogue as the originals were. They still kill Dr. Gero. So don't get me wrong, but they're not really interested in killing humans. Hunting down Freeza Force soldiers and causing Freeza chaos is their favourite hobbies. That's actually where we're going to leave things for now. So what do you got? Now, someone pointed out in the comments in part 1 that shouldn't future Trunks have arrived and tried to take out Freeza? The answer to that question is no, because you got to remember, in this reality, Freeza has killed both Vegeta and Bulma. There's no one left to give birth to a future Trunks. So, yes, there was no one to oppose him. The only ones who are now currently opposing Freeza, giving him a bit of a headache, are Android 17 and 18, who have been activated. Are 17 and 18 bad guys in this reality? Yes, they do tend to wipe out humans, but they have a lot more fun, you know, wiping out Freeza Force soldiers and having fun with that. But if there are humans that are in the crossfire, 17 and 18 have no problems, you know, blowing them up too. You know, they do like to take their little joyride, steal cars and mow down pedestrians and all that stuff they do in the history of Trunks or future Trunks timeline. After all, there's no influence of Goku for them to change their ways. And well, with that, it's proving to be really hard for the Freeza Force soldiers and particularly the Ginyu Force to really find these guys, to really find the androids, because the fact is you can't sense the android's energy, as well as you just, you know, not even their scouters could pick them up. And, well, it's almost becoming to the point where now Freeza has made the decision that he's just going to do away with Earth altogether, pretty much firing a death beam and destroying the planet. That's pretty much all Freeza can do to get rid of the androids. And so that's exactly what he does. These androids here wiping out the human wiping out the human slaves and giving me a headache. Look at all, they even wiped out my Ginyu Force. Now, planet Earth is just not worth having. So Freeza has decided to pack up his empire and leave, taking away any technology advances that he could, especially, you know, within the Capsule Corporation. And he is just about to do away with the planet until Roshi actually manages to pipe up, recognizing that the androids had the Red Ribbon Army insignias. Wait, Lord Freeza, you don't want to blow up my home? I recognize the insignias. Those insignias came from the Red Ribbon Army built by Dr. Giro. I have a friend on planet Earth who could identify where his laboratory was. Oh, really? Is that so? Well, Roshi, it looks like you've come of some use after all. And well, with that, Roshi actually takes Freeza to visit Dr. Briefs, who has since become a bit of a science whiz in the Freeza Force army, you know, doing things to spruce up their ships a bit better, adding technological advances to their ships, adding technologies that basically Freeza didn't have before. And you know, you don't want to waste a good mind like Dr. Briefs. Dr. Briefs does work with a little bit of resentment, considering, you know, Freeza did kind of kill his daughter. And well, it's not like Dr. Briefs can really do anything about it. And well, with hearing Roshi and Freeza out, he does confirm that these androids were built by Dr. Giro, and that his hideout is somewhere on the outskirts of South City. Somewhere in hiding, somewhere in the mountains somewhere. And Dr. Briefs actually has the address. And well, with that, Freeza actually surprises the androids. Knock knock, anybody home? And Android 17 and 18 are looking to see the Emperor Freeza before them. So you were that Freeza that I've heard so much about. They've heard stories of Freeza from, you know, people that they killed. And well, Android 17 and 18 decide to make a game out of fighting Freeza, and yes, the two of them are proving to be a bit of a handful for Freeza, despite Freeza being immortal. And well, there are a few times 17 and 18 do fire a really powerful blast to kill Freeza, but again, Immortal, and throughout the time, Freeza just keeps coming back, and coming back again and again, time and time again, to battle the androids, with them not really grasping the concept that he's immortal. Freeza thinking, you know, it's kind of funnier if they don't tell them. Don't be telling those androids I'm immortal. I want them to eventually figure out for themselves. Let's see how long it takes their stupid synthetic brains to actually catch on. And throughout the battles between the androids, Freeza is only getting stronger and stronger. After all, with the Freeza's race's potential for training, as we see in Dragon Ball Super, they have more of a potential to get stronger than the Saiyans ever could. And, well, Freeza deciding to take a little bit of a break and continuing training on his own, he actually gets himself strong enough that he can actually transform into Golden Freeza. And as soon as he hears about another attack from his men, from the androids, Freeza pretty much just goes there and pretty much wipes out Android 17 and 18. No problem, no issues whatsoever. And well, for Freeza, things begin to be a bit more prosperous, officially redubbing Earth Freeza Planet 415, or, you know, just some designation like that. And well, with that, life for the Earthlings is pretty much as per normal, except, you know, they've got to answer for the Freeza Force. You know, they're not completely unfair, and well, the Earthlings do get enough payment to survive and whatnot. They just got to do some of the grunt work and, you know, build Freeza's cities and things like that. And for people on Earth who are interested in space and space exploration and things like that, a lot of them actually jumped at the chance to actually be a part of this new empire. And, you know, get to see other planets and help them build planets, build cities on other planets, and things were beginning to be prosperous. And with Freeza not really having to deal with many threats anymore, Frieza's actually become more or less a pretty chill guy. And even Roshi was actually teaching Frieza the ways of having to sense energy and how to raise and lower their power levels at will. And this became a good asset for the Frieza Force to actually learn as well. So, thanks to Roshi's input, the entire Frieza Force is getting a lot of advantages that they didn't have originally. Does Roshi have some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Misgivings of teaching Frieza and the Frieza Force? Yeah, a little bit, but it's not like I said, it's not really like he can really do much about it. Recruited the last few remaining martial artists into the Frieza Force, the martial artists that would actually prove to be of some use to him. Warriors such as Mercenary Tao, Master Roshi, Chi-Chi, and the Ox King. And well, I got to admit, when I did the previous part, I hadn't even considered Chi-Chi and the Ox King being alive. Not intentionally, I just sort of forgot about them because, they don't really do much in any of the series, really. So yeah, to Ox King fans and Chi-Chi fans everywhere, I do apologise. And yes, like Roshi, they have been recruited into the Frieza Force and part of Roshi's squad. It's kind of hilarious when you think about it, these good guys now suddenly working for a bad guy. But, it's either that or die. And, and since now Android 17 and 18 have been defeated, Roshi has, and Chi-Chi and the Ox King have proven themselves useful to Frieza, simply by training up the Frieza Force, teaching them how to sense energy without scouters, how to raise and lower their power levels, and plus, just making them all better fighters and martial artists so they can, which has given them better, ki control, and, things like that. And Roshi is, in the process of training Lord Frieza personally. Perhaps it's possible that maybe teaching Frieza the ways of the martial arts, that maybe he can actually change the Emperor from within, rather than getting into a fist battle with the Emperor and trying to take him down that way. But Roshi is pretty crafty, and he does have a plan to deal with Lord Frieza, should it really absolutely necessarily come to it. And as far as enslaving the Earthlings, Frieza has since does actually treat his enslavement people quite well, actually. They do actually get paid for their services and things like that, plus they still got their own money and zenny and things like that they still can use. So all in all, the people of Earth are actually treated relatively well. There was just that big mess concerning the androids that Frieza dealt with in the last part, destroying the duo, thanks to mostly because of the help of Dr. Briefs happening to know Dr. Giro's address. And thanks to the androids pushing Frieza in the battle, Frieza was able to break into his golden Frieza transformation right there and then. Is he as strong as he is in Dragon Ball Super? Well, no, not quite yet. He's only just hit it. Right now, his power level would be about heading towards, Perfect Cell's power level. Frieza's only just scraped the surface of this power bypassing, 5th form, like he does in the original. Or at least there's no reference saying that Frieza actually hit the 5th form before hitting Golden. Anyway, so with that, Frieza, realizing how much trouble that these androids gave him, if he hadn't have been immortal, these androids would have, without a doubt, finished him off right there and then. So luckily he was immortal, and Frieza is actually thinking that maybe he was too hasty getting rid of these androids. Perhaps they could have been of some use to me. Perhaps we could have simply reprogrammed them. Get rid of Dr. Giro's programming and instill my will instead. But, as we know, Android 17 and 18 broke free of their master's programming and pretty much did whatever they wanted anyway. So, yeah. But Freeza does have an idea on maybe some possible way that we could maybe rebuild these androids and actually make sure that they do what they are programmed to do. In this case, serve him. And he does manage to, going through Dr. Giro's labs, he does find the plans for Android 17 and 18. Now, I know, Android 17 and 18 were built from real people. But don't worry, I do have a bit of a solution coming up with, for that problem, which is about to happen right now. He does go to Dr. Briefs for help and asking him if he could possibly rebuild these androids if he had the schematics. But however, these plans are just too complex for Dr. Briefs, and Bulma's not exactly there to help. And this is a bit of a disappointment for Freeza. And he was considering, doing away with Dr. Briefs. However, upon further realization, Dr. Briefs is still doing a good job providing, new improvements to Frieza's spaceship, as well as all the other fine work he is doing at this point. But never you fear, Freeza has another solution. He has heard rumors about another doctor somewhere in the galaxy, and well, he has decided to take a little trip out there to find this doctor, who may be able to rebuild these androids. After all, this guy is from an advanced civilization, and just who is this doctor? Well, I'm sure we've all heard about the Grand Tour and all about that. Yes, we are actually going to be having some elements from Dragon Ball GT in this What If. The doctor because for the doctor he is referring to is the great Dr. Mew, the last truly surviving Tuffle. Is it Tuple? I think it's Tuple. Now, if you don't know who the Tupples were, they were the civilization who once had dominion over planet Vegeta before the Saiyans had pretty much wrecked their own planet, Planet Sadala, and pretty much took over planet Vegeta from the Tupples. Up until Dragon Ball GT, we were led to believe the Tupples were extinct, but no, Dr. Mew had survived and slowly been planning revenge on the Saiyans. I wonder if news of Planet Vegeta's destruction and the complete extinction of the Saiyan race has reached him yet. Or has it? Or has it? So with that, Freeza does indeed take a little trip out to space. With, he's got Roshi and his squad with him, and, other members of the Freeza Force, including members like Sorbet and, Berry Blue, and that other guy who was with Berry Blue. And they're off on a nice space journey to find this doctor, and more or less they do, and Freeza, informing him, recognize him as a surviving member of the Topple civilization. Well, you don't need to fear those nasty little monkeys anymore. I took care of every last one of them. And with that, Dr. Mew actually decides to build these two androids, to recreate these two androids for Freeza. No charge. Because you got rid of the Saiyans? Well, I'll tell you, sir, you have done the galaxy a great service this day you have. So I'll tell you what, I will build your androids for free. And do you possibly have a little something from their DNA so we can actually build them from the same scale as you, if you wish? And Frieza's going, as a matter of fact, yes, I do have a little something. After the battle with the androids, Freeza had decided it was a good idea to go back and see if he could find something that belonged to the androids, anything that could possibly make rebuilding them easier. And well, he found Android 18's hand and the ascot belonging to Android 17, which has Android 17's DNA all over it. And well, with that, yes, Dr. Mew is able to clone Android 17 and 18 from that, and putting in Frieza's programming exactly the way Freeza wants, creating a Freeza Force edition of Android 17 and 18. Meanwhile, back on Earth, there is a new crisis now beginning to brew on planet Earth in the form of Imperfect Cell. Imperfect Cell, who has arrived from some other timeline, from some other parallel universe, or, you know, something confusing like that. We still get Imperfect Cell running around, and he is at the moment absorbing any human he can, as well as absorbing Freeza Force soldiers and killing them. And quite frankly, this is actually making Cell stronger than he is in the original timeline, because remember, these soldiers have all had martial art and key energy training from Master Roshi, so this Freeza Force is actually stronger, a bit more formidable than the original, as well as, you know, being a step up from your everyday human race, which Cell was absorbing in the original timeline. And this actually comes to a key component in making Cell stronger in this original part. And at this point, Cell is looking for the androids, but can't seem to really be finding them anywhere. And I think the Force are having a hard time dealing with Cell at the moment. And well, meanwhile, Freeza has stopped by this planet, just some planet in the galaxy he hasn't conquered yet, and he's thinking of sending the androids down to go down there and conquer it for him. But upon further examination and on Roshi's part, he realizes this planet is right now on a verge of its own uprising. There are these higher groups of people terrorizing the weaker ones. They're weaker in technology, weaker in physically, everything. So Roshi actually suggests, you know, right, instead of just going down there and muscling your way down there, why not offer aid to these guys, get rid of these tyrants, and they'll serve you willingly. And Freeza actually sees that Roshi's actually talking sense here. You know what? It appears you might actually be right, Roshi. That may be just what we need. So Freeza actually decides to heed his teacher's advice, because Roshi is training him, and well, he, along with the androids and a couple and the Turtle Force, actually give aid to these weaker soldiers, and they help them out with technology and things like that. And essentially, they actually free this planet from this tyrant who is controlling these stronger warriors who are oppressing these people. And just like Roshi predicted, they agreed to form a permanent alliance with the Freeza Force, and they actually come to a better deal and understanding. And this actually pleases Freeza very much so. And well, with that, they pretty much make their leave, leaving Freeza ordering a couple of Freeza Force ships to stay behind and keep an eye on things, while Freeza continues to make his way back to Earth to find out what's been going on here, because he's now getting reports of Cell and the Bugman. And well, meanwhile, what is Dr. Mew doing? He's got a little laboratory sort of set up in the ship somewhere, and he's continuing his research, building a certain little nasty that he's basically intending to unleash upon Freeza when he feels the time is right. That, of course, being what is known as Lord Baby. He is building Lord Baby in this laboratory, and yes, Freeza may have paid him handsomely for his services in rebuilding 17 and 18, but Dr. Mew has always been interested in conquering the universe himself. So, yes, he's not willing to play second banana to this Freeza. Even though, yes, he did avenge
his race by blowing up the Saiyans. But no, he's not. Yeah, he's not interested in playing second banana to Freeza whatsoever. Well, with that, Freeza is sent back to Earth. Freeza is back on Earth, and he sends the androids to deal with Cell. Oh, Freeza, big mistake. And well, after all, it's not really Frieza's fault. He doesn't know the origins of Cell. He doesn't know the origin story of Cell and everything else. And well, unfortunately, yes, the androids did serve him willingly, but definitely not for long, because Cell, ends up absorbing them, becoming Perfect Cell. And oh boy, this time, Cell is actually stronger than he is in the original timeline. Firstly, from all the power boosts and upgrades that View was able to give these clones of the original androids 17 and 18, as well as all the Freezer Force soldiers he absorbed prior. Cell can actually transform into Golden Perfect Cell, which is pretty cool. Looks a lot like Freezer, and well, Cell, he doesn't really have much interest in really destroying the planet or anything, but he is curious to battle with Freeza. And well, that battle is a pretty classic clash of, a clash of titans there, except the whole Freeza being immortal. Cell can't quite understand why he can't destroy this creature, because at the moment, Cell is actually the stronger out of the two. But Freeza, of course, is immortal, so it's like the androids all over again. And well, meanwhile, something nasty is stirred within Lord Baby, who has now decided to wake up and pretty much killing Dr. Mew on the spot. He has sensed this Saiyan energy coming from Cell. And he's thinking, Saiyans, we must get rid of them. Saiyans! Even the very scent of Saiyans, get rid of them! And well, with that, Lord Baby does make start making way around the ship, and he starts infecting members of the Freezer Force, like he does in Dragon Ball GT, when he infects everyone on Earth. That sort of thing. And well, meanwhile, Battle of Cell. Cell's beginning to tuck her out. To be honest, Bugman, I could be doing this all day if you want to, but you're really starting to bore me now, so what do you say we end this? And just as Freeza is about to, supposedly finish off Cell, suddenly this greyish slime thing just jumps out into Cell's face and enters him. This is Baby taking over Freeza. And well, a few moments later, Frieza's power is going up, skyrocketing even further, and Freeza becomes Lord Baby Freeza, the immortal Lord Baby Freeza, which I gotta say is pretty cool looking. And well, with that, yep, the universe is in trouble, and things are looking that bleak that now, meanwhile, on the far distant planet of Beerus the Destroyer, Whis, who's been sort of monitoring this whole situation, it's time to wake up Beerus. Things have just gone way out of hand, and this is pretty much all. You can all pretty much thank him for ordering Freeza to wipe out the Saiyans in a way. This is what happens. And well, that is where we're going to be leaving things for right. Lord Baby Freeza is having the time of his life, basically toying with a weakened Perfect Cell. After all, Cell does have Saiyan DNA, so, when it comes to Lord Baby, it is exterminate. Exterminate! But Baby is quite having fun, enjoying himself. In doing that, enjoying his new all-powerful body that's also immortal. So even when Perfect Cell is getting hits in and doing damage, his damage is pretty much instantly being healed and his energy restored. So while Cell's getting weaker and weaker, running low on batteries as it were, Lord Baby Freeza is still perfectly strong and powerful. And as for Roshi, the Ox King, and Chi-Chi, they're just trying to avoid the rest of these Lord Baby possessed members of the Freeza Force, and don't worry, Roshi does have a bit of a plan. He instructs Ox King and Chi-Chi to more or less head up to the lookout and see if he can borrow the sacred water. I don't think I've got the water right. I don't think I've got the names of the water right. You know, the one you pour into the earth and it cleanses you of all your evil. The one they actually use on Baby in Dragon Ball GT and Garlic Jr. in the Garlic Jr. saga. You know the water I'm talking about? Yeah, that one. So while Ox King and Chi-Chi are gonna go ahead and do that, Master Roshi has to unfortunately implement his plan, a plan that he was hoping he'd never have to enact, because, well, he was actually beginning to make progress with Frieza, and actually, make Frieza into a pretty chill ruler, a ruler who actually helps the less fortunate and, gains their respect and gains control of the planet that way, instead of, destroying inhabitants and taking them over by force and being feared. And Roshi was actually managing to more or less get through to Frieza, being his martial arts mentor, so teaching him how to sense energy, raise his power level at will, all that stuff that Goku had learned during his time. Poor Goku. Anyways, so with that, Lord Baby Frieza is pretty much just about to do Perfect Cell in, and that is when Beerus and Whis show up. This had better be worth my time, Whis. You better not have woken me up for nothing. And Whis basically just goes, "Oh, I think you'll find this amusing, Beerus. Frieza had indeed wiped out every single Saiyan just like you ordered him to, except now the Namekian. He eventually found Planet Namek and was able to use the Dragon Balls to make himself immortal." Make himself immortal? Are you kidding me? Why didn't you wake me up sooner? This isn't no time to be napping. And, well, when they eventually do arrive to Earth, Beerus is all ready for action and actually giving Lord Baby Frieza a bit of a flogging. And not that it's really doing much good, because like I said, Immortal, Frieza, Lord Baby inside, it's quite a nasty mess. And, it's also, what to do about this perfect cell creature after Beerus is done here. And the battle is quite epic, and Beerus, being the stronger of the two, eventually gets tired of playing around and using more and more of his power. He's more or less getting into the fight. This is the first time he's had to use, 70 to 80% of his power since, well, probably since ever. This new version of Frieza is, proven to be quite the handful. It's lucky that Whis woke him up when he did. And, well, after Beerus gets tired of fighting and Baby Frieza's no longer amusing, he attempts to use the Hakai on him. Now, DB Right, what's the Hakai? Well, Hakai is the ability that all destroyers have, where they can essentially not only destroy and kill a person, but pretty much erase them from all existence. It's the same thing he used on Zamasu. And so he tries to use that on Lord Baby Frieza, but the problem is, it doesn't work. Well, why not, DB Right? Well, according to my sources and also what I've read in the manga, the Hakai does not work on immortals or anyone who is stronger than Beerus. Now, Lord Baby Frieza is not stronger than Beerus, but he is immortal, so the Hakai is not working, and now the battle is more or less beginning to shift in Lord Baby Frieza's favor. Beerus is also beginning to tuck out, even with Perfect Cell assisting him. you know, they're facing against an immortal. Lord Baby Freeza is out of the reach of gods. Now, meanwhile, Ox King and Chi-Chi find Mr. Popo, and who reluctantly agrees to let them in to deliver the sacred water, even though this is really a Guardian of Earth duty, but no one has really been chosen to be the next Guardian of Earth. And, well, with that, Chi-Chi and the Ox King, with Mr. Popo's assistant, do indeed manage to use the water to cleanse out Baby's influence in the humans, and they're able to restore everyone, with the exception of Lord Freeza. Lord Baby is not letting go of Freeza as easily as the others. Freeza is sort of writhing in pain a little bit, but ultimately Baby's able to sort of just hold her off long enough that he doesn't have to let go. And, well, with Beerus and Cell looking a little worse for wear, while Beerus still has some fight left in him, this is where Master Roshi finally springs his ultimate trap on Lord Baby Freeza. You may have guessed it, Master Roshi is using the Mafuba, the evil containment wave. It has suddenly swept up Freeza, or rather, the immortal Lord Baby Freeza, and needless to say, it actually is successful. The immortal Lord Baby Freeza is sealed away in a jar. The threat is now over. Lord Beerus looks to whoever it was who casted the Mafuba. Ha! That crafty old man! Nice work, Pops! And Master Roshi just sort of doing a victory sign. And, well, with that, the threat is pretty much over. And as for Perfect Cell, who pretty much got more than what he bargained for with this fight, he doesn't really have much interest in really staying on Earth, so he's more or less going to go off into the cosmos and basically do whatever he wants to do. However, he's been warned by Beerus that if he steps too much out of line, Beerus will show up and destroy him. And, well, Cell, seeing how powerful Beerus is, yeah, he's not gonna tempt the wrath of a destroyer god. And, well, as for that, Whis pretty much rewards Master Roshi by pretty much offering him the role as the next destroyer, should, well, if and when it's time for Beerus to step down. And, as you know, in order to become a destroyer, you gotta accept the job. And, well, Roshi hasn't quite decided whether or not he's gonna accept the job. However, he does accept another job offer from Mr. Popo, and that is to be the Guardian of the Earth. After all, Roshi did just save the Earth. He's pretty wise, he's smart. He'd be the perfect person to take over the position that Kami left all those years ago. Popo would have maybe approached him earlier, but, you know, the whole Freeza thing happened, and Freeza took over the planet, and yeah, it wasn't going to happen. But now, Roshi could actually serve as a pretty well-mannered Guardian of the Earth, just, you know, just being who he is, and he did drink from the fountain of youth, so Roshi is going to be around for a very long time. And, well, Chi-Chi and the Ox King are able to go back to their peaceful lives, and, well, as for Beerus, he basically just wants to go back home and finish off his nap. You know what, old man, you're okay. Now, don't you be accepting that destroyer job too hastily now. If I find you trying to take my job, I will not be too happy. Whis, we're getting out of here. It's time for me to go back for a nap. I can't believe you actually wasted my time with this. This Earthling had it under control the entire time. Well, I'm sorry, my lord, but better safe than sorry, I guess. And well, Beerus and Whis take their leave, and Whis, taking a packed gourmet lunch from planet Earth along with him. And as for Cell, well, going off on Earth, he pretty much decides to take over the Freeza Force and continue with ruling Frieza's empire. Why not? There's a huge part of Frieza within him, and King Cold, so he might actually do a pretty good job. As long as he doesn't overstep, just like Beerus says, he should be relatively fine. And Master Roshi has filled him in with all the changes he has made with Lord Frieza, and Cell's more or less willing to abide by him. It's the least Cell can do after Roshi pretty much just saved his skin. And well, with that, the story of what if Frieza became immortal concludes. So what did you guys think? Did you enjoy this story? Did you like the ending? I suppose some people probably would have been more happy if they were able to get Baby out of Frieza and Frieza was able to continue, but I don't know, I thought this ending may have been better. Anyways, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys again for the next What If video. Catch you later. Have a great time, guys.